The Zone at 91.3 presents The B-Side.
Vacation Danny back in the studio. What's up, Dan Gunn?
I'm slowly crashing back into reality, almost back to work, but just drove back all the way from Jordan River just to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you very much for doing that. He's got his motorhome parked outside.
That's right. The gunship goes where I go.
Yeah, fair enough. What's on the B-side today, my man?
So, forest fires, big thing, obviously every summer in BC, and one of the things that that we do and everybody's heard about for years, decades, maybe centuries, is tree planting. Right? How do we restock these forests? How do we, after forestry, after fires, how do we keep it going? And so I really, Camosun has an engineering applied program that is really actually phenomenal. And they do a bridge program that takes you from Camosun into UVic if you want to do that. And the people who go through this program are phenomenal. Like I know a lot of people who hire engineers and they say, look, if you get a Camosun bridge graduate, and then they go to UVic and you hire them, they're going to be phenomenal. And so there's a couple of guys that went to Camosun and now are going to UVic. They're in third year engineering. It's Nick Birch and Taylor Rhodes. And they've got this startup called Iota, I-O-T-A, probably Industries, maybe it's Enterprises. And what they've come up with is a new device for planting trees. And so they've taken what they've been learning in school and their passions and their interests, and they built a robot. It's an all-terrain robot. It's got 4 wheels, and it drives along. They use a remote control to drive it along, and it's packed with seedlings, and it's got like a chute. And it gets to a spot, they hit the button, and a pneumatic hammer comes down and punches a hole in the ground and spreads it open, and then it drops the seedling and it taps the ground around it.
What?
And then they just drive it forward a little further, and they go another spot, hit the button, boom, smashed, crack, planted seedling.
Wow.
So it's right now I've seen the prototype videos and I would say they're at their early proof of concept, but
yeah, it sounds like with what they have, it would have to be fairly tame terrain for this. The
current one so I've seen 2 wheel setups for them. So they had one that had 4 of the same wheels, and then they put bigger wheels and easier steering wheels on it. But yeah, definitely the terrain is going to be a consideration. But have you ever seen any of those videos of the robots like that Boston Dynamics has made?
No.
Where they make the ones that they look like a running animal.
Oh,
where they're running and they
yeah.
try and kick them and they almost fall over.
Right.
Like what's happening in robotics and what's going to be possible is pretty insane how fast they're moving along and how they're getting with balance and how they're getting with adapting and making decisions on their own without a controller. And so this is the first step, but imagine, as a tree planter, instead of spending all day on your knees, bending over, putting in trees into the ground, that you have this device that you can bring along, and it starts driving along, carrying the pack and dropping everything in the ground. And what I like about it is, they're going to do a crowdfunding thing to try and get this off the ground as a product. What I love about it is, a couple of local students, and a lot of people that live in Victoria overlook just how lucky we are to have UVic, Camosun, and Royal Roads. Like at any given time, 10% of our population is a full-time post-secondary student. There's 38,000 of them at any given time. It's the reason why we're called Canada's Smartest City by Maclean's magazine. And now adding that entrepreneurial spirit and that, sort of that innovation, that hacker-maker mentality, these guys have put together this cool thing. And
Rad.
Regardless of what happens with this product, they've learned so much about everything in building and about product development, about market validation, all these different things that we try and teach startups. But what's cool is like out of a garage rolls this tree planting beast of a machine, and it's already planting trees in prototype trials, and
wow.
it's really cool.
Awesome, man. What's the website?
Always check thebside.com.
Thanks for coming in, dude.